Stand By Me, Happiness, and Abbey Road are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is August 8th, 2022. It is the 220th day of the year. We got 145 days left in 2022. It is the 32nd Monday in the 33rd week and the 49th day of summer. There are 45 days left until fall. If today's your birthday, you're still a Leo. Today is National Happiness Happens Day. Smile on August 8th to share the National Happiness Happens Day. On this day each year, just let it happen. Just be happy. You know, happiness is kind of infectious. This day encourages happiness all day. Recognize every moment of glee, joy, and delight and pleasure. That's from the website. Just be happy, everyone. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I think that's a great quote. This day also prohibits the squashing of other people's happiness. Sounds like a worthy day. All right, let's see what else August 8th has given us. 1794, Joseph Whidbey leads an expedition to search for the Northwest Passage near Juneau, Alaska. And because of this, he now has an island in the Puget Sound and a state park in Washington, right behind Oak Harbor. 1831, 400 Shawnee people agree to relinquish their land in Ohio in exchange for land west of the Mississippi River. 1863, the American Civil War. Following his defeat in the Battle of Gettysburg, General Robert E. Lee sends a letter of resignation to Confederate President Jefferson Davis, who goes on to refuse the resignation. 1969, at a zebra crossing in London, photographer Leon Macmillan takes the iconic photo that becomes the cover image of the Beatles' album Abbey Road. There's this big conspiracy years ago that Paul McCartney was actually dead, and this was part of the proof that he was to some of these conspiracy theorists, that in the picture, he is the only one that is barefoot, and he is the only one that is out of step. Apparently, that proves he's dead. I don't know. I'll never understand conspiracy theories. I mean, I understand them. I read this book on them. I actually read several books on conspiracy theories. Not the actual conspiracy theories, but how they get going. And it's actually pretty funny. What most of these psychologists and psychiatrists came to the conclusion of in all of the books, that the people that really get into these conspiracies that are considered experts on it are usually people that accomplish very little else in their life besides becoming an expert on this conspiracy. That's in most cases. I mean, Winston Churchill was a big promoter of conspiracies. 1974, Richard Nixon, in a nationwide television address, announces his resignation from the office of the President of the United States, effective noon the next day. This all stems from the Watergate Break-In. The Watergate Break-In, in case you don't know, was Republican operatives working for the Nixon re-election campaign broke into the Democratic Party headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. I've talked to a few people that, they really don't follow politics or anything like that, and they've always been under the assumption, and this is more than a few over my years, they seem to think that it had something to do with a foreign government or they were selling secrets, something like that. No, they were just trying to get an advantage against their competition in a U.S. election. The funny thing about this is it wasn't like the FBI or a police organization that kind of blew this thing wide open. They were caught by a security guard at the Watergate Hotel who called the police and they were all arrested. Well, it was two investigative journalists, Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, that worked for the Washington Post. Those two linked the Watergate burglars to the Nixon re-election campaign. In 1973, the Watergate Special Counsel, Archibald Cox, subpoenaed tape recordings from the Oval Office, and they found an 18-minute gap. This is sort of what sunk Nixon's ship. The 18-minute gap didn't prove any wrongdoing, but it made people suspicious that Nixon knew about the burglary and the cover-up and all that good stuff. By late 1973, it became apparent that Nixon had no support from anyone in Washington anymore. He had completely run out of allies, and the Democrat-controlled Senate made it clear that they had enough votes to impeach him. The writing was on the wall. He resigned. Now, Nixon's whole presidency wasn't a disaster. It wasn't the best, but this kind of overshadows anything positive he did. 2000, Confederate submarine H.L. Hunley is raised to the surface after 136 years on the ocean floor and 30 years after its discovery by undersea explorer Ely Spence. Movies released on August 8th, 1986, Stand By Me. One of the greatest movies of my youth, I guess you could say. I was home on leave from the Army. Went with a group of friends to see this, and it was really an emotional and well-done movie. It's a Rob Reiner film about boyhood friends who stumble upon a dead body. The movie is based on Stephen King's novel, The Body. The movie was Jerry O'Connell, who plays Vern Tessio. It was his film debut, and he went on to do all kinds of good things. Stand By Me also starred River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, and Kiefer Sutherland. Will Wheaton was in the movie. He played the young Gordy, and in the movie it's about him as a writer reflecting on his youth in this event. Well, in real life, Will continued acting, but he went on to write some books. Richard Dreyfuss narrates this movie, and he just adds a lot to it just by using his voice. If you ever get a chance, if you've never seen Stand By Me, it's a great movie. Born on August 8th, 1937, Dustin Hoffman. I did not know he was that old. Renowned method actor who won the Academy Award for Best Actor in Kramer vs. Kramer, 1979, and Rain Man in 1988. He had a breakthrough role as Benjamin Braddock in the 1967 classic The Graduate, and also played leading roles in films like Midnight Cowboy, Tootsie, and All the President's Men. Oddly enough, in All the President's Men, Dustin Hoffman plays Carl Bernstein. Robert Redford played Bob Woodward, who blew the whole Watergate scandal up. Kind of a weird twist there for today's video. He began his acting career at the Pasadena Playhouse with his roommate and fellow actor, Gene Hackman. He made his debut in the 1967 movie The Tiger Makes Out. That apartment he shared with Gene Hackman, they also shared it with Robert Duvall. Dustin Hoffman's always been a great actor. Died on August 8, 1991, James Irwin. As the lunar module pilot for Apollo 15, he was the 8th person to walk on the moon. He was a recipient of the NASA Distinguished Medal Service. He received his master's degree in aeronautical engineering from the University of Michigan in 1957. He died of a heart attack and was buried at Arlington National Cemetery, the first of the astronauts who walked on the moon to die. He had 5 children. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. If you want to help out this channel, there's some videos being suggested right now. If you click on one of those, that's a metric YouTube's really looking at. Be appreciated if you have time. All right, everyone, have a great day. Be nice to each other.